Yeah, I missed my flight to Nigeria. I did. My name is Chinye and welcome to a new video. I missed my flight. I will be there eventually, but it was just not meant to be at that time, I guess. And it wasn't the type of situation where you're like running on the airport, stop the flight, stop the flight. It was a situation where I was counting the days, like, okay, 10 days to go, visa not approved. 6 days to go, visa not approved. 3 days to go, visa not approved. 1 day to go, visa not approved. And it was very like nerve-wracking and a little bit stressful. I'm not a stressed type of person, but this was very, very annoying, I have to say. And it is my own fault, you know. It's everything in life is always your own fault. What I should have done is just fix the visa first, but I'm just like a go with the flow type of person, and I just booked my flight. And after I booked the flight, I started thinking about the visa. And there is this process where you can get an e-visa. I think they changed it now. You cannot get a visa on arrival anymore, so you need to get an electronic one. And it's supposed to take like 2 days if you do everything correctly, and then they will get it approved. But the 48 hours just passed and I didn't hear anything. So I already was a little bit late because I applied for the visa like, I would say like 2 weeks in advance, and I just didn't hear anything. And I started to worry because a few days had passed again, and you know, time was ticking. So what I did was I contacted my family in Nigeria and I asked them like, you know, can you maybe like get in contact with the Nigerian immigration? Because I had already called them, I had sent them emails. I was in Thailand at the moment, so I contacted the Thai embassy. I even contacted the Dutch embassy, but they all said no, you need to be with immigration in Abuja. But when I call immigration in Abuja, they don't pick up the phone. It literally says like the phone is switched off, which I'm like, what do you mean switched off? And just nothing works. Like if you cannot call them, if you cannot email them, and you cannot physically go there, then what else do you have left to do? So my family actually had a contact who worked at the immigration, and I got in touch with the man, and he said he could get me my visa approval within 2 days. And I had at that point, I think about 5 days left because it was the weekend. I spoke with him on a Thursday and my flight was on Tuesday. And my flight was going from Chiang Mai, Thailand to Lagos, Nigeria, and it had a stop, a transit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in between. So this man said in 2 days I can get it for you, and you just need to pay me an extra 100 euros. So I was like, that visa is already like almost like 300 euros. So having an extra 100 added on, I was already surprised because usually the visas are like 50 euros. So I was already surprised at this price for the Nigerian visa. And then this man said, you know, give me another 100. And of course I was skeptical because like, I'm gonna give you 100, but am I gonna really see the results, or am I gonna get my money back, or what? But this was a man that my uncle knew, and he said he was trustworthy and he knew him very well and his family and everything. So I put my trust in my uncle. So transferred the money to Nigeria. This man was very active in the beginning, very like calling me all the time and keep giving me updates. But then when it was the weekend, when he was supposed to like get it, he went a little bit more quiet, and I was starting to get worried because now we had like only 3 days left. So I was like sending this man messages. Also my family was very worried, like because they wanted me to come and they wanted it to be successful. And still every time I got a new number I would call it again and email, still no response. And in this portal, you have this portal for the e-visa, and you can see the status there. But every time I click on the little eye to see the status, it gave me an error. It said like you know, come back later, you cannot we cannot process it now. So it was so frustrating. And this man kept saying like, okay, you know, I will come back to you, I will come back to you, but he didn't give any details even when I asked him. So then he said to me, like in the weekend on a Sunday, like the reason that your visa is not approved is because they need additional documents. So there were 2 extra documents they needed. They needed to have my bank statements again, because you need to show proof of sufficient funds, and they also needed to see again my return ticket, because they don't want you to stay in the country if you don't have a return ticket. So I said, okay, where can I send it? And they said like, okay, we send you an email, just reply to the email. But I hadn't received the email, so I was looking through my inbox again, through my spam box, no email. So the next like 3 days were all repeating. I kept telling this man I don't have the email. The man kept telling me the email is there. It was just the same thing. He even like sent me voice messages he had calling other people from the immigration, and they kept saying, we send her an email, she just needs to reply. If she doesn't see the email, we cannot do anything. And I was like, just resend the email. It's so simple. My flight is leaving in like 48 hours and I just need to upload the documents and that's it. But I just need a place to do it. And I even sent these documents to all the email addresses of Nigerian immigration that I had, but just no reply. And it's just so frustrating when the solution is very simple, but nobody is doing things to give you the solution. And I even said like, you know, send it to my other email address, or even send it to my uncle, or even let them send it to you, to that contact I had, and then you send it to me. But no, they didn't want to send the email, and it was just so frustrating. And I come from the Netherlands, and having contact with like government organizations is a little bit more easy than the experience I had. Just even something as the phone being switched off, that's not really normal. But here the phone was switched off, no email, no contact, don't want to send the email again, I don't have it. They keep saying check it. I check it for like 50 times, it's not there, because I couldn't get a refund for my ticket. I just didn't think it through. And that's also a little bit privilege, you know, that I have, because I just don't ever have visa issues. I never had a problem with not getting my visa approved or not getting into a country. And I'm also a little bit old school like that, because I thought that you can always get a visa on arrival, but that's just not possible in every country anymore. So you need to do it in advance. You cannot just book your ticket and go, because then you know you cannot enter. So yeah, that's my own lesson from this. What happened in the end is that I couldn't catch the flight. I just still didn't have it like 12 hours before my flight was leaving. And also I couldn't stay in Thailand anymore because my visa was expiring exactly on the day that I was supposed to fly away. So I had to like find a new country to go to in 24 hours. And since my stop was already in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go get out of the plane there and just wait until my visa gets approved. But then apparently that is not possible, because they won't give your luggage if you have a transit. Sometimes they do, but in this case they don't. They just like internally put your luggage from one plane until the next plane. So I was like now calling with Ethiopian Airlines, like, can I get my baggage, because I don't have my Nigerian visa, so I'm going out in Ethiopia. So they said no, like no, it's not possible to do it. You can ask them at the airport. Sometimes they say yes, but if they say no, then yeah, then it's a no. And I was like, if they say no, like I cannot go on that flight, you know, and I don't have another flight, and I cannot stay in Thailand because then I'm illegal there. So it was this whole thing that was with different layers, and I was like up all night in the evening, like trying to find a new place to go, like a new country. The stupid thing about it is that they did tell me that I could go off in Ethiopia, but I had to buy a new ticket for that. So they couldn't just let me go out of the plane, but they could cancel that one ticket and then let me buy a new one to just go off in Ethiopia. But that would just, I just had to pay again. Like, it's so like unlogical and like not made to help you, that system. So I was thinking, am I going to go to Vietnam? Am I going to go to India? I was looking at all these places, but a lot of them also you needed to have a visa in advance. So I needed to go to a country with visa on arrival. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to Ethiopia since I already had that flight booked. And since I already know I can go there with visa on arrival. So I canceled my old ticket. I still got a little bit money back, not too much. Then I bought a new ticket to go to the same location basically, and then it all went okay. Then I arrived at Ethiopia. No trouble with the visa, just giving the money, giving some information, got inside. And then in Ethiopia, when I was there for about a week, finally my visa, my Nigerian visa, got approved, so I can finally enter the country. So now I'm gonna book my flight again to go there in the upcoming weeks. And it's just like a big lesson, you know. And if you travel a lot, you will experience a lot of things like this. Like even the missing the flight, when I said at the beginning, running to the gate, I also experienced that. And it's just like, it's just your own fault. I cannot say anything else. Like, it's your fault, but you learn from it. It's an experience, an adventure. I can share it with you and like hopefully prevent it for you. But yeah, you will see me in Nigeria very soon. If you want to see what my experience is like here in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, you can watch a video right here. And I see you in the next one. Stay high. Bye.